Hello, this is the trade site Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, August 11th, 2013, ending Friday, August 16th. Hope you're having a good trading month so far. Let's start by taking a look at some daily charts, then we'll look at some of the intraday action from this last week, kind of analyze where we're at. Then we'll discuss the economic data that's due out this week and what to be aware of so we don't get run over. Charts, as usual, brought to you by the astounding eSignal 11 platform. Here's a look at the euro-dollar. We have crept up to very near this static trend line. This could be a major wall of resistance. That's a trade to target off of a 9-bar downward move that we got over here. And then we've got a red static trend line down here from the 9-bar move up. But right now, dollar got weaker this week. We're sitting very near that static trend line. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if we hit it. We are nowhere near any new type of sell signal on the euro-dollar. Now let's take a look at the dollar index itself, and you can see similar action. There's the static trend line on it that we were approaching from the on the way down. We are 7 bars down on a seeker actual count, not just the setup phase. So again, this is going to be a critical area to watch to see what happens. Not necessarily a breakout or breakdown point, but it is a static trend line. It'll be interesting to see where we go from there. Here's the Aussie dollar that's been heading lower, got a little bounce this week. And finally, here's a look at the pound dollar, which is more of a neutral area. It's not near the static trend line yet. I looked through all the daily charts for Forex. I didn't really see one pair that's got anything near a buy or sell signal with our secret tool that I'd be interested in, nor did I see any that are really near key points on the chart. So we're kind of in neutral area, which is not unusual for August. Usually things slow down. It hasn't been that bad. We had a nice trading week this week. We've been half size because we did have a slow week at the end of July, and we often go half size into August. But so far, August has been a plenty good month. We had a couple nice winners this week, including one that lasted for 140 pips on the pound. So there's nothing you can complain about from that perspective. Let's go ahead and look at some of the intraday action this week just to see what the ranges were. Here's the 5 days of the week in 30-minute bars on the euro-dollar. Unfortunately, total range for the week on the euro-dollar, only 160 pips. That's really poor, obviously. So nothing to get too excited about there. Here's a look at the pound dollar in 30-minute bars. And again, here's that big move on Wednesday that got us started on a trade that we didn't get out of until Friday. Ended up being a nice winner. The range is here much bigger, about 350, a little more than that pips. But keep in mind that includes this spike down that then reversed on news, and basically this is what's frustrating. This is why it's August. Even though we got lucky, we had some nice winners this week. We had this one in the pound, we had another one in the pound, we had one in the euro. We may have had a stop out, but mostly it's been a nice week. But that 350 pips of range for the week in the pound, 300 of it covered it in 2 hours. So the rest of the week you can see just 60 pip ranges and 70 pip ranges and stuff. So that's why we're half size, because of August. We've just been very fortunate to see some nice trades play out anyways. Here's a look at the Aussie, which actually had a bigger range as well, 350 pips on the Aussie. May start looking there for some trades. By the way, note the 13. First there was a 13 seeker sell signal right here that led to a flat action for a 24-hour window, and then we got one on Friday as well. Finally, let's take a look at the dollar index daily 30-minute chart, just so you can see that for the week we did indeed head lower. Time to take a look now at economic data coming out this week, so we know what to be aware of, what to avoid, what to trade less size ahead of. We don't like to trade news here at TradeSite. We are technical traders. Here's the Sunday, starting on Sunday, the New Zealand FPI number, followed by preliminary GDP and CGPI out of Japan. Early hours Monday, revised industrial production out of Japan, retail sales out of Switzerland. In the afternoon, we got the Treasury budget out of the U.S. Monday night, core machinery orders and the minutes from the last Bank of Japan meeting. Nothing else major. Business confidence out of Australia. German WPI and CPI. You got the UK, a whole bunch of the what I call the PI data: CPI, PPI, RPI, HPI. A lot of that's economic output data, basically. Industrial production out of Europe. U.S. has a lot of data this week. We've got retail sales and import-export prices in the morning on Tuesday. Business inventories also at 10 a.m. Retail sales out of New Zealand that night. Wage price index out of Australia that night. leads to the various GDP numbers out of some of the European countries going into Wednesday. French CPI, Switzerland's PPI, and then we've got unemployment rate out of the UK at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. That can be a big number. GDP flash number from out of the broad European sector. German 10-year bond auction, and then again more U.S. data. PPI, crude oil inventories. Got a couple speeches from Fed members. Got the MI inflation expectations out of Australia. Bank holidays in France and Italy for Thursday. Not sure which one that is, but they're going to be shut down. Don't know if that'll have a major effect on us. Retail sales out of the UK. Not a big deal. Then U.S., look at all this U.S. data on Thursday. I got a member speaking again. Boy, that guy's active in a 24-hour window. CPI, unemployment, jobless claims as usual. Empire State Manufacturing Index, tick, long-term purchases, capacity utilization, industrial production, and then Philly Fed, all out of the U.S., and then natty gas as well. So that's a busy session Thursday for data. The big one for us there, of course, is CPI. That's one of our big three each month. We would be half size ahead of that. We're going to be half size anyway, so we'll be less than half size ahead of Thursday, Wednesday night going into Thursday because of that. Europe's current account, 4 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. Their CPI and trade balance at 5 a.m. That's a couple of big numbers together. Manufacturing sales out of Canada, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, and then the U.S. again with housing starts, building permits, University of Michigan, and some non-farm productivity numbers and labor costs. So, a lot of data coming out this week, a lot of it out of the U.S. I think that Wednesday night, Thursday, going into CPI could be interesting. Other than that, it's just a straightforward trading week, just like the last few. We're going to be half size because of August. See what it turns into. As usual, we'll be in the lab making calls. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to stop by and ask them. Hope you have a great trading week. This has been TradeSite.com.